Naked Baker on Facebook and Google Solutions. So, this dough's about ready. This is dough number 2. And I'm just going to show you guys a little bit how you check a dough real quick before we start molding. So, I'm going to take a little dough and you stretch it like we said in lesson 1 about the gluten. We're developing the gluten in the dough and we're spreading this out to what we call as bakers the window. As you get this thin enough, I can actually see through it and see my beautiful producer, Corinne O'Connell. You can check her out on CorinneO'Connell.com. She's an amazing vocalist. And I can also look at the sun. So look at the sun come through there. See that? And this is, again, a very whole grain, sprouted grain dough. We're going to let that sit and rest. And if you remember the other dough we did here, not quite 2 hours before, we divided them into individual pieces. And I've got one pretzel done there. Let me go to work on this one so you can see. But first, it is Oktoberfest. And we want to have a beer. This is an IPA, more of an American beer. You go to Munich, the Munich Oktoberfest, you won't find an IPA for hundreds of miles. They don't know what it is. IPA being India Pale Ale. But when we begin baking tomorrow, we will have a keg of local Oktoberfest beer on tap. But for now, it's cheers to the IPA. An official German mug. I got this on one of my trips to Germany. Can't remember now. But so, you can see the pretzel shape here. And that's what we're going to do. And the hard part is getting these spread out because dough with the gluten development is under tension. And similar to molding a baguette, but we're going to go out further and longer. So, what you guys can do at home, you can go this far and then let it relax again for 15 or 20 minutes. Because I don't have a long enough board, another trick I do is I can just let this one hang off on there like that. So I'm basically molding half of it. Whatever works for you, but you got to get it about almost 3 feet long. In the meantime, let me tell you about my trip to Oktoberfest. If you go, make sure you book yourself a reservation in one of the tents. My wife and I didn't. So we showed up there. We couldn't get into a tent. We were in there on day 1. You have to have a reservation to get in, or you can't drink beer because there's only beer inside the tents. And you want to know how frustrating that is for the naked baker to not be able to drink a beer while he's at Oktoberfest? Never fear. As learned from my daughter how to sneak into concerts and just backstage, you just walk in. And so that's what we did. We ended up walking in and exit one of the tents, and there I got into about 3 or 4 more tents as the day wore on. I drank plenty of those great big beers, bigger than this one. But you know, some of the halls they actually use the clay pottery mugs like this. So I'm almost there, and we're in a little bit. So bring it together, 2 ends. A double twist, a pinch, spread them out, and then you flip it over, and there we have it, a pretzel shape. So tomorrow, what's going to be exciting, we're going to put these in the refrigerator overnight, then we're going to bring them out and leave them at room temp without a proof box for about 2 hours, and then we're going to show you how to use a caustic solution, which is what gives that pretzel its shine and the unique flavor. So stay tuned. We'll be cranking this back up tomorrow, maybe noontime-ish California. But we're not going to rush our dough. Until our dough's ready, I won't be tuning in. So stay close to your iPhones and your web blogs and your computers. And what else, producer? Your Androids. Stay close to everything.